Liquid Gurdjieff, G in a bottle, or if you prefer, our new line of delicious chewable tablets. Either way, is it enlightenment or madness? A little of both, or perhaps not enough of either. Side effects may include radical hair loss and a zombie stare, as well as the usual rude, stuck-up behavior that Gurdjieffians are famous for. Speaking of which, let's not forget a certain compound up north, where one of these very superior personalities, Mr. E.G. Old, we'll call him, has his harem of brainwashed groupie women filming his every activity for future generations. Indeed, endless footage of your favorite Viagra junkie teaching his art classes, rambling aimlessly about the world situation, talking out of both sides of his mouth about his taxes to the latest IRS auditor. Indeed, priceless shots of Mr. Old scratching his groin area, plying little schoolgirls with candy, of course, and scamming gullible male fans and the usual overweight females out of their last dime. Even a rare glimpse of the time he sat his 70-year-old posterior on his favorite black porcelain toilet and finally resolved that nagging constipation problem that even the fresh-squeezed prune juice didn't look to settle. All in real time. Does it get more exciting than this? So by all means ask your psychiatrist if G in a bottle is right for you, assuming of course that the two of you have completely ruled out electroconvulsive shock therapy. Actually, if after that you're still keen on Mr. Old, you might want to reconsider the lobotomy.
It begins with physical nowing, which is the easiest nowing, especially if you get centered. You can learn centering with kumye, with yoga, with martial arts, tai chi. Take your pick. I don't suggest Gurdjieff's movements, his dance, because that was all about torturing his students and making them into these really contorted postures and holding the posture for a long time until it really hurt. You do go through that kind of physical pain in Zen with the sitting and stuff, and you get in touch with the source of your pain. But I mean, I can't relate to Gurdjieff's movement thing. It's for other people who take the movement classes to recommend it. I can't recommend it. And then as far as emotions going, I think that Gurdjieff worded things in an unfortunate way, and that encouraged a lot of thinking people who are running away from their feelings in the first place to latch on to how he put certain things. And it's even more repressed than it was when he was directly teaching. Gurdjieff was a very magnetic person. His presence, his example, was what drew people to him and what gave his words power, in his presence to learn what they were learning. Absent that, just the words alone, without the music of the presence of the personality, you're in trouble. You're just sitting on feelings. You're denying vulnerabilities. You're without any emotional intelligence. That's the harshest thing I could say about Gurdjieffians, even the most sincere, who are the ones who are beating themselves up, or the predators who are trying to beat up other people, is that they have no emotional intelligence. They are not emotionally intelligent. Now let's get back to theory. I'm going to introduce two unknown words. One is San Leos, which is supposed to be the capital of the lost civilization of Atlantis. That's mentioned early on in Beelzebub. And then there is the word that I brought up in my previous video, Sarmal, which was brought up by Gurdjieff in his Meetings with Remarkable Men, which is his highly fictionalized account of his search for knowledge, And he ran into the Sarmal Brotherhood, which is supposed to be a secret society that goes back to ancient Babylon. What does that word mean? But first, let's start with the easy breezy word, San Leos. Samleos looks to be a compound term combining Samos, an Aegean island off the coast of Turkey, with Leo, which alliterates well enough with the Latin Leo for lion. Back in Gurdjieff's day, Theosophists believed that the golden age of Atlantis was during the age of Leo, the astrological age of Leo. Another way of looking at it would be to bring some Arabic into it, but I won't have really established what Arabic has to do with Beelzebub until I go over how the year 223 by objective time calculation equates with 1921 AD.
Indeed, it will be a while before these talks will establish what Arabic has to do with Beelzebub. Until then, we would be remiss not to point out that Samiel is simply another name for Samael, the angel of death in Judaic folklore. The configuration in Hebrew would read Samiel 66, which is hard to ignore. But then Gurdjieffian conservatives and the anti-Jewish element among them will always resist the idea that Hebrew has anything to do with Beelzebub. So let us set Samiel 66 aside for the moment. After all, in our Key to G thread, it is important to erect a solidly conventional enough platform and venture forth from there only step by logical step, rather than to jar the sensibilities of conservatives all at once in some great quantum leap, which is the mistake the Lucifer series made in the early days. Then again, it is ponderous just why we would be concerned about conservative opinion, insofar as most of the challenges have come from G-types who attack Fox personally as not being spiritually evolved enough to talk about such things as Beelzebub's tales to his grandson. One person in particular, a character who was admittedly ruder in days past than he is at present, but remains nonetheless rude enough lately, insists that Fox has not even read Beelzebub, or if he has, he hasn't read it with very much insight, much less read any of the literature about G. Even that Fox is all but illiterate on the entire subject, owing to the fact that our producer will not eat this individual's crap, as you Yanks would put it.
Damn you, Fox! An enlightened Gurdjieffian would eat my crap and not mind it one little bit. If you are ever to understand Gurdjieffian self-perfection, you must eat my crap.
Well, no, you eat it, and I don't want it. The Aegean island of Samos was the birthplace of the mystical Greek philosopher Pythagoras. Pythagoras is famous for having conceived a philosophy of number, a mystical philosophy of number, dimensions, sacred geometry, all that good stuff. And the Lucifer series thinks that numbers have a lot to do with just about any occult work, and certainly it has to do with Beelzebub. In Beelzebub, Pythagoras is reputed to be the founder of the Club of the Adherents of Legomenism. Legomenism is the tradition of passing occult knowledge over the ages. Okay, that's what that means. So it couldn't be more obvious. when Gurdjieff is being obvious, it's for a reason. He wants to give you these freebie terms like Sam Leos. He wants to mention Pythagoras several times in the text so that you can put some things together that anyone can agree on. And with that in mind, you can attack more difficult formulations with permission to look on some of the words as needing a little bit of rearranging of the letters. Okay, as long as you can justify it. And then there is the Sarmaung Brotherhood mentioned in Meetings with Remarkable Men, Gurdjieff's very fictional and fanciful account of his travels and how he came across, the knowledge of the ages in one little group or another. Then all these little groups go back thousands of years, okay, presumably. And the one he goes on the most about is the fictional Sarmaung Brotherhood, okay? And don't be taken in by the hype. Gurdjieff came up with Sarmaung Brotherhood, okay? He originated this term just like he originated the Enneagram. Nobody ever heard of the Enneagram before Gurdjieff, and then he comes out with this thing going, oh, well, it was created by the Sufis. And now you've even got Sufi groups in the West who believe that. And we don't know for sure. I mean, he could have been telling the truth, but I doubt it. Pardon the sunglasses. I was kept up all night by a mosquito. I look kind of ragged here. So I do have to finish this video, and I can only finish it right now because I have to be someplace. I had wanted to get into some ancient Akkadian in regards to the word Sarmaung. I can't do that now because I'm running out of time. So what I'll do is, with just a little bit of tweaking, I will rearrange Sarmaung to read as two Armenian words, Sarn and Maug. And Sarn Maug means Mount Grave. And get this, the mountain range where the Sarmaung Brotherhood is reputed to have been located is in Afghanistan. It's the Hindu Kush mountain range. And the Kush of Hindu Kush means to kill. Okay? Mount Grave and Hindu to kill Hindus. Now, it's a long story how Hindu Kush got to be called Hindu Kush. It just means that it was a dangerous mountain range to traverse, and many Hindus lost their lives, okay? There's more to it than that, but never mind that for now.